or classification was not made till Panini's grammar was brought to the notice by Bloomfield. The concept of compound came only with our word is samasa. The word samasa means, so compound as in just like two things put together of a particular, of specific proportions. So that is what we call the properties. Properties mean what we sometimes say we shakti in our thing. So anything cannot be put together. To be friendly, to be equal, something that there should be some common properties. So that only two things can be joined together. So joining things was a very, very important innovation of Panini to use samasa word is a grammatical combination, a grammatical relation. Its compound does not mean anything that can be put together, only particular things or things of particular nature, having the same qualities, having the same properties. So that is why this Panini first tried to give the underlying principle, how compound when samasa takes place. What is the condition for that? What is the definition of samasa? These are the basic criteria or basic, you can say, this contribution of Panin that before he starts anything, first he goes to the root. Describe the semantic properties, describe the syntactic properties. Then only he starts the formulation. Because what is used in the language, he goes back, looks at it, and then he starts the from where it starts. What is the reason and what are the proportions? Can you show now?
Yes, sir.
Please. So this is what the background that how Panini systematized the compound system and how he classified, which is still continuing in English grammar. In 2002, I had sent you the photocopies where both the joint authors, they have accepted that there are certain concepts which has no parallel even in linguistics or in English literature grammar, for which they have borrowed the terms Dvandva and Bahupri, even Tatpurusha. Why they took it or why they do not get. So there remains the Panini's insights, deep insights, how to analyze language, how to analyze the words, what type of words, why compound is a separate category. I think Bhaskar or anybody who wanted to know why we should know samasa, what is necessity. So whenever we are using words, the words are used with a particular in a particular domain or in a particular definition or lakshana. So every word is not same in the language. That's why as you had seen Dasarathi, you have this Karaka, Gayaka, then also we have this Raja Purusha. They are not of the same, though they are all nouns, they represent three different categories. Why? Because they are formed differently. Structurally, they are different. Semantically, they are also different, but they are used formally or grammatically as a noun, as a categorized. So they belong to one category, but with a different structures. That's why these different differences are shown by Panini. That's why the first rule. Can you please show this first diagram?
Um,
Pratipadika.
sir,
Any
I'm just
any problem?
no, sir. I'm moving in the slides. I just don't know which slide you want me to.
First one, you see this Pratipadika, first is there.
Mm-hmm. And then
Then will come
this,
this definition, compound definition, condition.
sir. I'm on definition, condition.
Yeah,
Yes,
just before that, there is one tree, please.
sir. There is only this tree or this diagram.
Pratipadika is not there, which is divided
No,
into
sir.
three.
Yeah.
Anyway, what we had done earlier also, Pratipadika, he has divided into three. These are the three derived noun, Kruttadita Samasascha. So Krudanta, we have seen that how Sasaka, Gayaka, Pachakas are used and formed. And Tadita, we have seen Dasarathi, Bhagirathi, all these nouns from noun. Krudanta is noun from verb. And the third category is actually Samasa. These are the three categories of nouns which we say, or that is in language used as they are the derived from particular roots. The krudanta is from noun, noun to noun, sorry, verb to noun. Tadita is noun to noun. Now when you come to compound, it is noun plus noun becomes a noun. Yeah, can you share now? Noun plus noun, it becomes noun. So there are
Sir,
three categories.
this
Yeah,
is this it, sir? This one, this slide.
nothing shown. Please just open.
Can you not see my
No, no, no,
slides?
no.
Oh, it's
Please
okay.
check it.
We can see it.
Oh, you can
Hold
see?
on.
Why I am
Yeah,
not
Yeah.
hold
able
on
to
a
see.
second. I'll now share again because I
Yeah, yeah.
guess I was sharing and you couldn't see it.
One
Okay.
second, one second.
One second. So now,
Yes.
okay.
I'm able.
Yeah. She is presenting definition of samasa.
Yes. So, okay now? Hello?
Yes, sir. We are able to
Hello?
see the presentation. Yes, sir. Hello.
How much time going? Just
ଟିକେ ଅପେକ୍ଷା କର ମୁଁ କଣ କରିବି ଆଉ ମୁଁ କଣ କରିବି
Sir, we can hear you.
still.
ଗୋଟେ ସ୍ଲୋ କରିଦେଲି ନା ତମ ଭଏସଟା ରିପିଟ୍ ହେଉଛି 1 minute please
Mm.
I'll sign out and sign in again please
Okay.
We are audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sound is
We can hear you.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. Yes, we can hear.
Oh, sorry. Sorry for an
It's
inconvenience.
okay.
There's some problem with the other systems and all. Okay, please carry on.
yes. So if we look at this, so this is what we had seen earlier. So just to show that there are three categories. So derived, we have this noun, noun to noun, verb to noun, and noun plus noun equals to noun. So these are all pratipadika. But so yes, next please, next. Yeah, this is the sutra that we had given also, samasa. So this sutra only gives you the derived nouns in three types, krut, tadita, and samasa. These are the words we had used in our sentences. When we'll come, I'll explain that. But these are the basic things, how he made these three and how he's explaining these three types also. So now next, we'll go to this samasa is just a one cat. Yeah, next please. Yeah. Now, what is happening here? How he defines what is samasa? Samasa, generally, as we know, it is between two nouns. But we have seen that it is not always two nouns. It can be also verb. So these are what happen. How to define the samasa or the compounding? How Panini has taken the uh, steps to describe it particularly. So what he is showing here is, now for noun, Panini does not use the word noun or pratipadika. Panini is only using as subanta. All our nouns or what we call pratipadikas or the kriya padas are all referred by Panini as subanta and tinganta. So whenever combination comes between padas, so this is a combination between padas, not prakriti and pratyaya. So a pada is a grammatical unit, a syntactic unit, what they call syntactic. Grammatical means that's why it is pada. It is prakriti plus pratyaya becomes pada. When prakriti plus pada it becomes pada. So that's why it can be, when it is used sentence, it should be either subanta or tinganta. So if there is a combination, it should be between subanta or tinganta or subanta or singanta, subanta or tinganta. So this way, the combinations are possible, generated. So one is, so that is why first to hint, so it is subantas. Basically, the compounds are coming between, are seen between nouns. The nouns are called subantas because they take supratyaya. Because they are called pratipadika, they take supratyaya, that's why they are called subanta. Now these subantas and subantas can make only a compound, or the nouns and nouns compounds are popular and are in majority. So that is why, so when we make compound, when we join one thing with the other. So in the sense of with, always the term used in Sanskrit is saha. Saha means with. Pitra saha gacchati. He is going with his father. Saha always tritiya. Whenever there is saha sabda, it is an upapada and position. Whenever it is used, we get tritiya vibhakti. Okay, so tritiya sense is here with. That means a subanta or one noun, when it joins with another noun, we call it a samasa. Or samasa is that when one noun joins with another noun with. So that's why instead of saying noun or pratipadika, because subantas are called pratipadikas, so he is using a supa. Supa means with sup. So directly he is not using the noun or pratipadika. Pratipadika is defined as a subanta. Why? Because pratipadika can be noun, it can be adjective also for us, including even obvious. So whenever compound takes place, there are three categories, that is noun, adjective, and obvious, or what we call the prepositions. These three categories are all pratipadikas, they all take soup. So when they take soup, then combination can be possible between noun plus noun, or adjective plus noun, or preposition plus noun. So three major combinations are possible. Since three major combinations are possible, he is only showing that in general. So since they are all Subantas, so one Subanta can join with another Subanta. That means one noun can join with another noun. So actually the sutra should be Sup Saha Supa. Sup is the first word Subantam. Saha means with. Supa, it is used in Tritiya Vibhakti. Sup, it is Halant. Because it is Halant, in Tritiya Vibhakti, A is added, you get Supa. Supa means Subantena, with soup. So when you say Saha Supa means with soup. So one soup can join with another soup. This is the general rule. That is the first definition, he Sup Supa. Sup Supa is the sutra, that is 214, which tells you that one Subanta joins with another Subanta. Then you get compound. That becomes Samasa. So two members he gives you, the soup and soup, two soups. So soup, Saha, Supa. Now here if you look at this, in the Sutra, he has only said Saha, Supa. The soup I have put in the bracket because it is not there actually in the Sutra. It has to be taken from the context. The question is, why he says Sahasupa? Sahasupa means only with soup. If it is with soup, then what is with soup? That is not known. So since we are dealing with Subantas, so there are two possibilities. One is soup can join with soup, or we have another category is called Tinganta. It can be Ting plus Supa also, verb plus noun. So since there are possibilities open, so he has, instead of taking soup, if you make soup, it is only specified. Then verb or compound cannot be formed. So to accommodate both, he did not use the word soup there in the sutra. He simply said Sahasupa means Subantane Saha Samasyate. Who may be Subanta or Tinganta, anyone. So for Tingantas only, to include within that category verbal compounds, he has used the sutra as Sahasupa. Subantena Saha, not directly soup. If you make soup supa, then verb will not have no chance. So this is way, when making a sutra, it is all with vibhakti. At the same time, whenever there is an accommodation, more enlarging. So there is a technique of dropping one word instead of both. Because if you use both, it will become big. If you simply say sopa, all will join with a noun. A noun can join with noun, or a verb also can join with noun. On that basis, so he has used this technique of omitting the first word, so that Sahasupa can be only Subanta or Tinganta can join, nobody else. So that is why it is kept open, so that it can refer to both. It can help to describe both the compounds, both Subanta and Tinganta. So that is why what is the meaning of the sutra is, look at this. The first soup is used in Prathama Vibhakti when one soup, the Subanta, that is N1. Okay, always see in the sutra, it is very, very important. Panini, how do you know which is joined with what? Whether N1 joined with N2 or so for that also, he has given a specific instructions. He has designed a specific method or developed a different method to understand clearly. Asandehartham adhyayam vyakaranam. The first one always in the Samasa Sutra you will find in Prathama Vibhakti. And the second part always you will get with the Tritiya Vibhakti. This is indicated in the first sutra itself. Sup in the Prathama, Supa with Tritiya. Sahasupa means with soup. So Subantam, Subantena, one soup with another soup. Okay, so one soup with another soup is explained in terms of Tritiya. Sup, Saha, Supa. So first always with Prathama and second is always with Tritiya. So there are two words in the Samasa Sutra. You will find now, we will be seeing. First part is always in Prathama. Second part is always with Tritiya Vibhakti. Why? To indicate that X joins with Y. With Y. When it is with, it is in Tritiya. So Sup, Saha, Supa is the sutra given by Panini, which is interpreted, explained as understood like this, that when one soup, that is Subanta number one, joins with another soup, joins with another. So soup, that is in third vibhakti, it is in supa, third singular. So that is Sanskrit subantena. Okay, with another soup and two, you get samasa. For samasa, there should be the first soup with another soup indicated, and all the sutras you are going to see, you will be finding they will be. So this is the way how he has defined this samasa with only two words, sahasupa. How much technical, how much coding is that, how everything is understood within that. With one word, he explains everything. So it is all how to know that, how to understand. That's why if you take the format, if you take this rule or formulation, it can be n plus 1 plus n2 equal be n1. N1. So we are getting one noun out of two. Okay. So next is, if you see that, can you please see this? Yes. Now, when you join one noun with another noun, that anybody can join any noun with anyone, or there should be some kind of restriction or some kind of something should be there. Now, how can you join anyone with anyone? Is it possible? So there he has first clearly stated and given a separate rule to make understand that. Since their subanta and tingantas are padasanya subtingantam padam, so all these derivations are vidhi. What you call vidhi means the process. That's why they are called padavidhis. So Krudanta, Tardita, Samasa are called Padavidhis. Why? Because they deal with padas. These are grammatical words derived, grammatical categories derived from their source. That's why they are called Padavidhi. So this is the word he has used, Padavidhi. And what is the condition for Padavidhi? So exclude this word Samartha. So Samartha means there should be some kind of compatibility. There should be some kind of connection, connectivity. You cannot join any word with anyone or any person with anybody unless there is some likingness, some closeness. This is samartha is generally competence, we say. Samarthya means he is capable of. So there should be a capability. There should be connectivity. So samartha is the word, term used very technically by Paninian to make you understand. Samartha means they must be capable of joining. You cannot join anyone. So what is that capability? This samartha, linguistically interpreted by Kopatsky and others, even Cardona, is both syntactic and semantic relation. Unless two words are syntactically and semantically connected, they cannot form a compound. So for a compound, when two nouns are going to be joined, so only those nouns which are syntactically and semantically connected, samartha, so they can be only put together, you will get samasa. So what is these kinds of conditions regarding the combination of two nouns, that is soups, is their syntactic and simulation, that is samartha, or competency or compatibility, which are all used within one term samartha. Okay, so this is what the condition. Now how we will know? We will come to examples. Next, please. So next, if you see this, now how you combine, how this pratma. Now look at this. For the sutras are there, no? Samasa sutras, how many are there? How do you know? How do you count them? First thing, he has given you the beginning that how you should read the sutras. Subantam, subantena. The first part of the sutra should be in Prathama. Second part sutra should be in Tritiya, so that one goes with the other. So that's why he gives this ordering of the compounds also. When you are using two nouns, which noun should come first? Because here is the ordering. We say Sanskrit has no order, but in compound you have the order. Orderings are always there. We should not take in the sense as it is talked in language. Order, without order, nothing can be explained nor formed logically. We have seen already earlier, Yatha Sankyam Anudesha Samanam order. We have seen Prakriti Prateha Parascha 312. 312 says Pratyaya has to be added after Prakriti, not before. Upasargaha Kriya Joge, the Upasargas. the prepositions are used with kriya, but where? Te prak prayuktavya, prak. So before dhatu only it should be used. So for everywhere, wherever there is a complex structure, when there is a combinations, they have tried, Panini has tried to give guidelines to show that where you should put it, which should be put first. So in case of compounds, it is very clearly here stated the sup supadi sutra itself indicates everything. Sup prathamantam, subantena or supa it is trutiyantam. So one word in the sutra should be always in the prathama vibhakti, and the second part is always in the tritiya vibhakti. So one example, that's why I say we are giving the word with prathama vibhakti in the sutra is used always as the first member. So how do you know first member? Which is Prathama Nirdishtam. Prathama Nirdishtam means, if you see the second 1 to 43, see the sutra there. Prathama Nirdishtam. Whichever word is used in Prathama Vibhakti in the sutra, not elsewhere. It is all about the sutras. Okay? Whenever a word is used in Prathama Vibhakti in the sutra, what happens? The Prathama Nirdishtam Samasa Upasarjanam. So in a Samasa, whichever or samasa sutra here. Okay, when in a samasa sutra, whichever word is used in prathama vibhakti, it should come first. So the order is fixed. Prathama nirdishtang samasa upasarjanam, and the next sutra says upasarjanam purvam. Whichever is upasarjana, it should come first. Before. Purvam means before. Para means after. So Upasarajanam Purva. So this is the what he brought in to bring the ordering in the compound, to explain the ordering in the compounds. People have used it. He is trying to explain them by changing his words into Upasarjanam, giving a separate name. Upasarjanam means Prathama Nirdishtam Upasarjanam in Samasa. So which in the Samasa Sutras, whichever word is used in Prathama Vibhakti, it is to be used, that Vibhaktiyanta pada should be used first. Example we will give now. See, there is a Sasti, the Sutra is 218. Here Sasti is used in Prathama Vibhakti. So what is the second part? Now Sasti is given at the end. It is a Sasti is defined as Sese Sasti. When you come to Vibhakti, you will see. Sasti is defined Sesha. Sesha means the remaining. That means before Sasti, all other Vibhaktis has been explained by him in the Sutras. Okay? After defining all the Sutras, Karta, Prathama, Ditya, Trutiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, and Saptami, he says, Sese Sasti. There is a Sutra. Sasti means which remains. That means other than Prathama, Ditya, Trutiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, and Saptami, the rest are called Sasti. Why? We'll see that. So first thing, Sasti is used in Prathama Vibhakti. So all these previous Vibhakti Samasas, where you get the Prathama or Ditya, Sritati, the examples I will be showing that just to know that how the sutra is interpreted. Prathama Nirdishta Samasa Upasarjana. In a Samaswasti is used in Prathama Vibhakti. Then Swasti is used with what? Na Samarthena, with anyone. Sasti is an open category. Sasti has hundreds of meanings, relations. So that means Prathama, Ditya, Trutiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Saptami, all these are fixed in particular relation. They are fixed with particular words. They say Grama Gata means who has reached the village. So Gata, so Ditya with Gata, the examples I will be showing that I will explain when I come to Vibhakti Tatpurusha. Always I will show you that the Prathamanta Pada is always Upasarjanam, and in Samasa, whichever is in Prathamanta Pada, it will be Prak. So Sasti Samarthena Samashyate, because Samartha is condition common for all. But this Samartha, other than these Karaka Vibhaktis, all other relations are open. Like we have Pita Putra. What is Pita Putra relation? It is not Karaka. That is why Sasti is not Karaka related. It is not a non-Karaka. It is a non-Karaka relation. It is not a Karaka relation. That also I will explain. We will talk about these Karakas. Now, the Sasti Samarthena Samashyate. That means a word used in sixth case. in the sutra is to be used in the first member of the compound. So example generally we take for the Rajapurusha. Next one, can you please take it? Next, please. Yes. Where is the example? 1 minute. Where I put? One second. So now the example that is given here will be coming Rajapurusha. In the Rajapurusha, what is happening? It is Ragyaha Purusha. Ragya means of the king, the man of the king. In English, it is king's man. They don't have a compound. For us, it is Sasti. We have direct compound. The feature of compound is, how do you know this is a compound? So it is Vibhakti Lopa. In our system, in Paninian system, in Indian system, the samasa is known through the deletion of Vibhakti. The Vibhakti Lopa takes place. Here is the sutra is Supadhatu Pratipadikayoho. Vibhakti Lopa, actually the condition, it is to be given a colon mark actually. So sutra is actually Supodhatu Pratipadika. So Dhatu and Pratipadika, super look. Soup is look. So Vibhakti Lopa. What do you call Vibhakti? Panini says soup and thing, no. Soup thing katang padam Vibhaktischa. His sutra is there. So they are also called Vibhakti. So because they are Vibhakti, so in Samasa formation, the Vibhakti Lopa takes place. That's why Supadhatu Pratipadikayoho. So this Vibhakti Lopa, when you say Rajan plus Sasti, sixth case, plus Purusha plus Su, so the sixth case is because it is in Sasti, in the Prathama Vibhakti, so it is dropped, so you get Rajapurusha. We will be showing the formulation also in due course. So Rajapurusha is formed with the deletion of the Sasti Vibhakti of the word Rajan. Rajan plus sixth, you get Ragyaha, and Purusha plus first, that is Shu, Ragyaha Purushaha, you get Rajapurushaha. So in every case, so this is how a compound is identified by Vibhakti Lopa. But there are, according to Panini, but Patanjali gives some other criteria to show that. How do you know this? He says, and Patanjali, that is there in the Mahavashya. So he gives three features. How to know this is? So compound, first it is Aikapadyam. It becomes one unit. As we saw there, n plus n, it becomes one. So when two nouns join, you get one noun only, not two. 1 plus 1 becomes 1, only in grammar, not in mathematics. I don't know. So this is n plus 1, you become 1. Aikapadya means 1, it becomes one unit. And how do you know this is one unit? Because it gives one meaning. Why do you need compound? Because the meanings conveyed by the compounds are not conveyed by any single word. That's why we need compounds. There are certain meanings we will be seeing. Certain meanings which are used by us are not conveyed by individual words, only by compounds or the samasta pada. So samasta padas are significant because they represent one unit of meaning. It is not only one unit of words. So even two words joined together, we get only one morpheme or free word. And this free word represents one meaning that is grammatically only single meaning, aikarthya. And how the speciality is always in the Vedic is, how do you know this? Again, aikashwarya. You get one accent. So each word has its own meaning, but when they are put together, they represent one meaning. So aikarthyam, aikapadyam, one unit of one word become one word, then it becomes, because one word, how do you know? Because it gives only one meaning again, and it also one accent. So this is Patanjali's definition, identification of samasas. But he said that aikapadyam, aikarthyam, and eka padasya bhava aikapadyam. You see this vriddhi. Eka become aika. Similarly, aikarthyam. Similarly, aikashwaryam. So these are represent the oneness of things. Even you put many things, you get one. So that is why one meaning, one word is only with compounds. All other words have more than one meaning, but compound words represent only specific meanings. Rajapurusha means the king's man, not anybody. Okay, so that's why compound meanings are not only found But what is the common is why these meanings are? Because these are separated from lexical meanings. They are different from the word meanings. So compound words different from other words in sense that their meaning is different from compound. Compound gives a special meaning, special meaning. Otherwise, why should you have compounds? But these meanings we do not get in individual words. Okay, next please. So now question comes, when we say compounds, how many types of compounds are there? So the compounds which are divided, as I told you, the first division of compound made in Panini has inspired the linguists to start with. This is all admitted by even Bloomfield. The first compound concept was taken from Panini and it was divided into endocentric and exocentric. The endocentric exocentric division is based on our Tatpurusha and Bahubhihi. Endocentric, Tatpurusha, and exocentric, Bahubhihi. What is endocentric? That also I will explain you. So endocentric, always, endo means always within or very much related to each other. So Tatpurusha represents one type of compounds whose meanings are related to any of the two members used in the samasa. When you say Rajapurusha, Rajapurusha is a special person, an adhikari, or you can say a government officer, king's officer, king's man, you can be in any capacity. Rajapurusha means a person who is related to the king. In the sense, not in the kinship relation. It is only in the functional relation, as a servant. Rajapurusha does not mean the son of a king or the father of a king. Rajapurusha means somebody who is employed by the king. We say government officers. No, government officers are like Rajapurushas. So the Rajapurusha, which is related to the first, in what sense? Suppose as an employee. So they hear the Rajapurusha, the meaning of Rajapurusha is related to the king. So it is the relation that is within. The output, the meaning relation of the Sama, the Rajapurusha, the meaning that we get as a government officer or king's man is within the words used in the Samasa, that is called the Rajapurusha. Similarly, when we take the Sitapati example we have been given in our sentences, that's why I have kept it here. Same also Sitapati means that who is the husband of Sita or this. Now the question is, this is why it is called Tatpurusha. Tatpurusha means again you should know Tasya Purusha. Tasya here means Adhikara. His man. Whose man? King's man. Her husband. Whose husband? His wife. These relations are very, very specific in our tradition. And these relations, so Tasya Purusha, Tat Purusha. Tasya is the Sashti Vibhakti and the Prathama Vibhakti is Tat. Because after Vibhakti Lopa, the Pratipadika remains. Tat. So Tasya, so Shio goes, it becomes Tat, Tat Purusha, then we can add again Tasya Purusha, Tat Purusha, we can use Vibhaktis afterwards again. So this is what Sitapati gives you, that husband-wife relation is something that related to Sita. Okay, so in endocentric, the meaning of the compound is related to any of the members of the compound, any of the two members of the compound. So whether Sita is related or king is related, so the relational meaning is there in Tatpurusha. In contrast, when we will come to Bahubri, it is not related to any of the members. We know that Pitambara Harihi, Chakrapani Vishnu. Now, what is Chakrapani? Chakra is one word, Pani is one word, but the meaning Vishnu does not, they are in the Chakra or in Pani. It refers to something other than the two. That is exocentric. Exo means outside. So the center is outside. So these two refers to third person, third candidate or third category. So Chakrapani refers to Vishnu or Hari. Pitambaraha Hari. All these samasas are bahubris are very traditionally described by Panini. So that also definition will come. But Tatpurusha is endocentric within the members, and centering is when it refers to outside the third party. Okay. So now this is the relationship is explained by Panini, that these relations which are used, or the words which are used in our languages, can be classified into Tatpurusha and Bahubrihi. How you will distinguish? Because here this is called, what they call endocentric, mean the meaning is within, and the exocentric, the meaning is outside. What they are defining in terms of English, in Sanskrit, simply say Tatpurusha and Bahubri. Bahubri, he will come to Sesha, Bahubri again. Panini always use the device of using the word Sesha. Sesha means what remains. Suppose there are many things. You cannot describe everything. But if there are two or three things, you can explain. This is one, this is two, the rest is third. We are going to come, when we will come to sentence also, I will explain you. In Sashti also will explain when you come to Vibhakti. So this is what this Vibhakti is, when Samasa takes place by Vibhakti Lopa. Now these, all these Samasas, you see the Vibhaktis, Prathama with Tritiya, right? Prathama with Chaturthi. So Chaturthi, we will get the sutras. I will explain you later on. What we are showing that on this basis, there are two types of, or the two ways the vibhaktis are lopa, are used. So in the sutras, you will find most of the sutras, the first word is in Prathama Vibhakti and the second part is in Tritiya Vibhakti, to indicate that the first one goes with the next. So this is called, so the vibhaktis are different. The first part of the sutra is Prathama, second part is Tritiya. So this is, but in comparison to this, when we have some compounds, some samasas, some fixed ones, where you get only one vibhakti, not two vibhaktis. That is Prathama, Prathama, Tritiya, Tritiya, Ditya, Ditya. You cannot have Prathama, Tritiya there. So this particular, this is called Karmadhara Samasa, if you heard it. Karmadhara Samasa is a subtype of Tatpurusha. It is not a separate one. Again, endocentric. Now, why you take a part of that, as a category of that subcategory? Because in Tatpurusha, in Karmadhara, both remain in the same vibhakti. That is identity. Let us, for example, if you look at, that's why he has defined Tatpurusha Samanadhikaranya. Samanadhikaranya means Samana Vibhakti. When they are placed in the same Vibhakti, when they are used in the same Vibhakti, they get, that is called Samanadhikaranya. And when they join together, that is called Karmadharaya. In all other places, different. That is called Vyadhikarana. Vyadhikarana means different adhikarana, different vibhaktis. Prathama with Tritiya, Prathama with Chaturthi, Prathama with Panchami, Prathama with Saptami. Prathama with Sashti. The Sashti also is there. So, but in one type of construction, you get noun plus noun when they are used in the same vibhakti. So, that is called Karmadharaya. So, Karmadharaya is a subtype of Tatpurusha because the meaning is within again. So, example, that's why I say N plus A, you get N, you get Nilotpalam. So, Nilam, Utpalam, Nilotpalam. Nilam, Utpalam, both are in Prathama. And the form you get Nilotpalam. And the meaning is, the sutra is there, Visheshanam, Visheshan. So here it is Vishesya, Visheshana Bhava. If you take a noun, I think you should, if you remember all, like in English, you have blackbird. Blackbird means what? Blackbird means, doesn't mean the bird is black. Bird black is used with one. So accent is there also in English. If bird takes one accent, that is Adyudata, it is Tatpurusha. That Panini also describes. Blackbird means bird which is black. If it is black bird, there is meaning is the bird, so which is a specific bird. Like we say cuckoo, no, cuckoo, koili. We say koili, cuckoo. Cuckoo is a particular type of bird which is called blackbird. It is not any blackbird. It is not crow. So similarly, in Sanskrit also we have another thing. We have this Krishna Sarpa. If a Krishna Sarpa is one word, it means cobra, specific type of black snake. That is cobra. If you say Krishna Sarpa in the sentence, it means any snake which is black. So always samasa is formed out of a sentence. We have always underlying sentence which gives the meaning of the compound. When you say Raja Purusha, we say Ragyaha Purushaha. When we say Krishna Sarpa, Krishnaha Sarpaha. So Krishnaha Sarpaha, it is a Vigraha, we call Vigraha Vakya, analytical sentence. And when it becomes Krishna Sarpa, it becomes a compound, one word, one meaning, one accent. So every compound used in Sanskrit literature, Panini has shown the compound, the base of compound is sentence, not a word. See, the underlying structure of a compound is the sentence, the Vigraha Vakya, the analytical sentence, which are alaukika, not used by the people. It is only understood by the grammarian. When you say Raja Purusha, how do you get it? From Ragyaha Purushaha, Sashti Vibhakti. Then from that, Vibhakti Lopa takes place, you get Raja Purusha. A grammar shows the process. Grammar only shows the technique. Grammar only use, but only the output is used by the people, but not the inputs. But the inputs are only shown by the grammarian, that all these inputs are there in different stages from which you get this output. So language is generative system. It is Panini's grammar is generative grammar. We can very well understand with compounds, because compounds are not mere words like any other word. These are all syntactic base. It is their syntactic relation that only makes the word compound that get you one meaning. They represent the sentence meaning, not a lexical meaning. It is not the meaning of a word. They represent the meaning of a sentence. So that's why it is both syntactic and semantic. Samartha Padavidhi. Whenever there is Padavidhi, so it is Samartha means both syntactic and semantic. So if you, those who are doing linguistics, they must know there is a word is called morphosyntactic. Each word in Sanskrit represents a meaning of sentence. Each pada of Panini represents a syntactic unit always. They are not mere words. So that is why Sanskrit is more, asandehartha. It is more unambiguous. Because Panini has shown that the forms are derived through particular process. And the output is always very specific. The forms are very specific. If you know the inputs, easy to understand from where it is coming. So it is more explaining that semantic base. So the Samartha is something very, very crucial and very important. There is a book written by Dr. Mahavir, Samartha Theory of Panini. There is a book, Samartha Theory of Panini by Dr. Mahavir. It is published by, I think, DK Publication. What is the other one? I will give the reference sometimes. So you will just remember. You can find out in the Google, Samartha Theory of Panini is written. And there is in Mahabhashya, Patanjali also has discussed the Sutra Samartha, one Bhashya, one Mahabhashya, one part only for the Sutra, Samartha Padavidhi. Yes, it is called Samartha Annika. So Samartha Annika Sutra is Samartha Padavidhi, has been threadbare explained in Mahabhashya. It is also published by Joseph, I think, Bhandarkar Institute, if you write to them, or University of Pune, because there is no out of stock, or I don't know. Well, you please check with Bhandarkar, they will tell you. The Samartha Padavidhi, the Samartha Bhashya, Samartha Annika, is also translated with notes by Dr. S.D. Joshi and Dr. Bhate. It is also available, but Samartha theory. Samartha is a very, very crucial theory for Panini's grammatical explanations. That is why you will see that I'm taking some examples. So now when these compounds are used, Tatpurusha compounds, now even Tatpurusha, as I told you, one is Vedikarana, another is Karmadhara, is when there is a Samanadhikarana. When they are used in the same vibhakti, it is called Karmadharaya. Now the compound division, the Tatpurusha, has been divided again into 4 categories. We will say one by one. What is happening to this? First you said that it is endocentric. When you say endocentric, the meaning of the compound is related or should be related to any of the two members. It can relate to Raja or it can be related to Purusha. It can relate to Sita or it can relate to Pati, not other than that. So when that type of relation, so uh, in the Pratipadikas, when you are going to make compounds, noun compounds, we have to get noun, we have three alternatives. One is noun, another is adjective, another is preposition, what we call upasarga. There are things. So three things are used as nouns for us. So these upasargas, what you call these upasargas are called abhyas in Sanskrit. Abhaya does not mean only cha, ba, tu, he, or, and, but abhaya also, these upasargas also are called abhyas. Because they are also used, though vibhakti, they are also applied with vibhakti, so that's why they are called abhyaya. They are not sworn, but internally, structurally they take vibhakti, and when the samasa takes place, the vibhakti lopa takes place. On that basis, the upasargas, the abhyas are also called subanta. So subanta, we have three categories. One, the noun, another is the adjective, another is the abhyaya. So these three categories are also considered as subanta. They are all subantas, so they can join with any noun. So if it is noun plus noun, you get one noun. If it is adjective plus noun, also you get a noun. If it is abhyaya plus noun, we get noun. So three noun types of nouns are obtained in Sanskrit or Pratipadikas by combination of three members. That is noun, adjective, and abhyaya. Now, if you take this abhyaya, then how you make the difference in the compound division? So we'll have three types basically. So that can be, one can be with noun from noun, one can be noun from adjective, or noun from the abhyaya. Now, when this samasa compounding takes place, how do you distinguish them? So traditionally, so they are divided as how the compounds are divided in tradition. If you read some other commentaries, I'll be giving just to tell you, just note this. Purvapada pradhanam abhyayi bhava. So in the compound, you have two padas now. The first part and second part. The first one, if the meaning of the compound is related to the first part of the compound, purvapada, then this is abhyaya bhava, because abhyaya comes always in the beginning. Purvapada pradhanam abhyayi bhava. Uttarapada pradhanam tat purusha. If it is second part is emphasized, it is tat purusha. If it is ubhayapada pradhana, when both the form, both the nouns are their meanings are prominent and present, it is called dvandva. Dvandva is defined as having importance of both the members. And anya padartha pradhana, anya padartha, he says bahubri means anya padartha, we'll be seeing that sutra. Anya padartha means which is outside the two member, it is called bahubrihi. This is a basic four divisions are made in tradition, and Panini has specifically mentioned, used in the sutras. So in abhyabhava samasa, the abhyaya comes first always because used on the pratama vibhakti, abhyayam, etc., etc. 215 sutra is there. From the 215 abhyabhava, I have taken one example from that. We use in our language yatha sakti, yatha vidhi, yatha kramam, means saktim anatikramya, yatha sakti means according to your capacity. Don't go beyond that. Yatha sakti means according to your ability. So yatha represents in limit an indication that whatever you are capable of, capability. So then you add this up in the bigger vakya, yatha takes plus sup, then you get this sakti get sup. So then what happens? The sakti, so yatha sabda abhyang vibhaktina. So there is another 215 where yatha sakti is formed. So yatha sakti is a abhyabhava compound. Why? Yatha is an abhyaya. So abhyas, when they are in compound only, they represent one category as subanta. In all other places, they do not have any declension. No abhyaya, abhyaya. They don't use any suffix with them. But because of samasa meanings, the abhyavava samasa, they have been treated as subanta. Why? Because unless you have sup lopa, you cannot get samasa artha. So samasa artha, capability, unless you bring to them to the same level or same category, we cannot combine them together. So the abhayas are made subantas, and because of subantas, the supadhatu, the lopa is there, then we get abhyavava samasa are possible, are interpreted logically. Logically, sometimes you have to consider something belong to this category, then only you can apply them at a stage by one rule. Supadhatu pratipadikayo lop bhavati. So this is called the. But now, why you say yatha sakti? Why it is as a abhaya only? It is if it is not samasa. And there is a sutra. If you look at this 217, yes, 217 will say you yatha sabda adrush asadrushya. So there are two words used here, yatha sabda, yatha abdeya, asadrushya arthe samashyate. That means the word which represent asadrushya artha only. So here yatha sakti means saktim anatikramya, not crossing your limit of level when your eligibility or ability. Here there is no sadrushya artha. But if yatha is also used in sadrushya artha, there it is not samasa. Example, yatha harihi tatha haraha. So both Vishnu and Hari and Haraha are not separate. As Vishnu, so also Shiva. Hara is Shiva. So when it is sadrushya, equality, they both are same. So yatha sabda used sadrushye, asadrushye. So sutra he makes yatha asadrushye 217. Asadrushya, why you are telling? Now asadrushya arte yatha sabda abhyaya subantena samarthena subantena samasyate. It is joined with a compatible noun. If it is sadrushyartha, there is no samasa. They are used as in a sentence, representing the equality. Yatha harihi tatha haraha. So in all the places, wherever you will see the sutras are given also semantic is taken the condition here to describe something. So every word has a number of properties. But unless you specify in what sense it is used, then there will be confusion. Since yatha is used both sadrushya and asadrushya, that's why it is taken, the sutra is specifying asadrushya arte. So yatha sakti, there is no sadrushya here. Here it is understanding your limit. But when you say yatha hari tatha haraha, it is used in sadrushya. That's why no samasa. Only asadrushya samasyate. Sadrushya na samasyate is a clear cut. He describes one side, the other side is understood always in the grammar. So he need not say that trick. Next, please. Yes. Now, when he says Sahasrapana, as I told you, one place we have. So there is one upasarga with bhar. So there is a prayoga anupravarsa.
May I ask one doubt?
Sir, please.
Inside in Dvandva Samas, you have Ubhaya Pada Pradhana. So can we still say that it is Ekyartham and Aikyapadyam?
It becomes one. So that's why
both are important.
Yeah. Now suppose when you Dvandva Samas, Pita cha, Mata cha, we get Pitaro. Now Pitaro is one meaning or two meanings. Pitaro is Divachana. The Dvandva Samasa always in Divachana. That represent there are two, but the meaning is one. Pitaro, when you say
Radha Krishna,
yes,
or Sita Ram,
so they are one. We are representing them as two, but we know they have one meaning, no? So parents, you are using the word parents, no? Parent means both, not one. But meaning is one. So the structure in any language, how meanings are very peculiar, very specific. Why they have differences? Why you need Dvanda? If you read this English grammar, they have written this Waterston and others. No, they have. I sent you yesterday. They have written a grammar in 2002. There are 1,842 pages latest English grammar where they have no other way to accept otherwise Dvandva and Bahubri. Why they are using? It is not because of Sanskrit. Because there is a unit of meaning which is not, which is only compatible or comparable with Dvandva and Bahubri. There is no other go. So they have no, so the names are given in so specific way that you cannot club with any other thing. So there is a difference, distinct, Veda. So even though it says Aika Dvaita means Aika Padya means it is one word, it becomes one. And it gives also one meaning and it takes one, Samasa Swara is one. So it is always one. When you want, that's why you get one word parent in English, but where we say Pitaru. So the way, because it is of the relation. So Pati Patni is one, you cannot say two. So the idea is that, so there are certain concepts. That's why you need Divachana in Sanskrit to specify. The certain relations are in two, which cannot be three or one. But the meaning is one. So that is how the form, even it is looks like two, the meaning gives you oneness. So they are one. So like that, we'll be again saying also. Now, so that's why I showed you Anupravarsat. Means after you made japa, the rain came. We do yajnas, no? When the rain does not come in summer season, so people start doing yajnas. So by yajna only water will come. After yajna is finished, water, sometimes rain comes, so people become very happy. Sometimes it does not come, they become. But there is a belief that if you perform this act. So that is Anuprabha. Here Anu is Upasarga, Abhyaya. And Prabarsat, Abarsat, Varsa, Abhavat. After japa, following japa, Varsa. So it is Anupravarsat. Here it is a samasa, one word, which represents a meaning. That is, there is a effect of yajna. If you perform in proper way, by proper persons, anybody cannot be done by anybody, as we think today. Not possible. Because there is a system. It works with a particular method, particular tradition, particular rules. Unless we follow anybody cannot do yajna. So because if there is a failure, it is not the fault of the tradition or the text or the shastras. We have not followed it properly. If we don't follow it properly, result cannot be expected. So there is a difference between the tradition, belief. It is a question of belief. So when you use these words in the sentence, so how they are used? So here we get Paryabhushayat. It is not S to be deleted. Paryabhushayat means which is well decorated on all sides. Pari is Upasarga, is a Abhyaya. Abhushayat is decorated. So when it is well decorated, you can say Paryabhushayat. So which indicates that they represent one word. So these are called the Abhyabhava Samasas. And Abhyaya also goes with the verb. That's why you get preposition plus B, you get the form is actually B. Now, when you come another category of Tatpurusha. Tatpurusha, we had one Tatpurusha in general, that is Sasti we got. Tatpurusha we got in Karmadharya, that is if it is the same vibhaktis. Now, there is another part of Tatpurusha is Digu Samasa. Digu is also another category of compound that is in Sanskrit, is also followed in every language. And Digu is, so Digu, Digu means here number, Sankhya. So Digu means Do Gavo Yasha. Those whose property is only 2 cows. Okay. So now these properties of 2 cows. So every compound which begins with a number, numeral. That's why his sutra is Sankhya Purva Diguhu. If in a compound the first word is Sankhya, so you have Tripala, you have Trikona, you have this Digu. These are the forms which are called the Abhyabhava Samasa, Digu Samasa, because they are formed with the numerals. So numerals also, though they are soup, so we are also using here as numeral plus noun. You get a noun, you get Digu Samasa, numeral determinative compounds. Sankhya Purvo Diguhu. See, the sutras always explain you the basic character of the Samasa. This Here, if we take this next one, you see here in N plus B, we have Kumbhakara. Everybody knows. We get in Odia, it is Kumbhara. In Kannada also, it is Kumbhara. I don't know in other language, they can find out. So, Kumbhakara is a pot maker, is a very common word, very word which is processed and explained, used in most of our languages. Then the second is bhar plus bar. You go pachata modata, it is used in Mahavashya. But this type of pachata modata, so means he is cooking and singing or cooking and enjoying. Right. So we have two actions sometimes, no? So cooking and dancing. Nowadays, if you see the, in the audios, so many people are practicing, music or something, dance while cooking, while you're sleeping. There are ways. Both the actions are possible. That is also given because of Sahasupa. The bhar plus bhar also can form a compound, but this is bhar plus bhar is only given by Patanjali in his Mahavashya, but Panini has taken up to preposition, abhay and verb. Okay, so next is that if you look at this, yes, this is the most important one. See the Sesho Bahubrihi. So whatever is explained in Tatpurusha, whatever remains other than Tatpurusha is Bahubrihi. If you take out Tatpurusha and Digu, the rest are called Bahubrihi. That is Sesha. So he need not describe Bahubrihi in terms, separate terms. He simply says Sesha means, so Sesha is a device used by Panini in most of the definition of technical terms. We'll be seeing one by one. Here, Sashti Sesha, I told you in Vibhaktis. In Samasa, Sesho Bahubri. So Bahubri is the last. Whatever has been defined with the categorization of the Samasa Tatpurusha, whether it is Karmadharaya, whether it is Digu, or whether it is Tatpurusha in general, or Sashti Tatpurusha, or Vibhakti Tatpurusha, after that, whatever remains, that means when you get N1 plus N2, you get N3. Here N3 means a third noun which is referred by these two. So two nouns, their meanings, it remains in a third noun. There we say it is says Bahubrihi. Bahubrihi means, again Bahubrihi word itself, Bahu means many, Brihi means grains, Bahubrihi refers to a place, a country where more grains are produced. Brihi generally we know today the black grams. Okay, Udit Purpu. But this Bahubrihi technically, literally means a country. Here Bahubri Deshaha. It refers to a country where many grains are produced, varieties of grains are produced, or grains in large quantity are produced. So this is Bahubri, the name itself tells you that it refers to a place, refers to a person which is in possession of many grains or which is producing grains. And this Bahubrihi, how do you identify Anekam Anya Padarthe? That's why I told you beginning, Purva Pada Pradhana, Abhyabhava, Uttara Pada Pradhana, Tatpurusha, Ubhaya Pada Pradhana, Dvandva, and Anya Padartha Pradhana Bahubri. It refers to the Anya Padartha, not So Padartha. On that basis, Tatpurusha is So Padartha and Bahubri is Anya Padartha. It refers to the other meaning, third meaning, not related to both. Whereas in Tatpurusha, it refers to any one of the both. So that is So Padartha, this is Anya Padartha. So Sesho Bahubrihi Anekam. So what is the criteria is Anya Padarthe Anekam. Because more than one, two refers to the third. Anya Padartha. And when it refers to the Anya Padartha, not the meaning of any of the two members. So the example we have given, it is actually Pitam Ambaram, Pitambaraha, the word, Pitambaraha Harihi. When you say Pitambaraha, it refers to actually Hari, not Pita nor Ambara. So who is person who qualifies by this, who wears this cloth, Pitam Ambaram, that is yellow cloth. Pitam is yellow, Ambara is cloth. So who always uses the yellow cloth, he is called the Vishnu Hari. So that is Pitambaraha. And how you get it? Pitam Ambaram Yasya. Yasya represents whose cloth is always Pitam and Ambaram. Pitam Ambaram. So that who wears the pitambara, the yellow cloth always, he is called Hari. So who always wears yellow cloth is Hari. So Hari is different from Pita and Ambara. So this way the words are formed in the language used by the people. They make the distinction among the meanings. They make the distinction among the form are underlying, are mentally processed, mentally distinguished. So everything is there. Nothing comes out without any proper judgment. Vitarkita purabhutya kochit arthe niveshita karanena dhvanina saspota anugriyate. What Bhartara has put it, always try to link whatever we are doing, how this rule should be accepted, why we should accept it. Is it because written in Sanskrit? Is it used by Panini? See the logic behind it, that whatever we know today, how we are able to understand him, we don't know him. Thousands years before he wrote this. Whatever he has written still is with us. The rules are natural, they are eternal. Language rules are universal. This is whether you call universal or Sanskrit rules. The Paninian rules are have a universal application. It is all how we understand it, how we take it. No, it is just not a Sanskrit grammar. Panini did not write only for Sanskrit. He wrote in Sanskrit, but for understanding of human mind. It is not restricted to Sanskrit. That is why the words are used in all languages. All Indian languages are using Bahubri Tatpurusha. Can they distinguish? They say we are different from Sanskrit. Who is different from Sanskrit? Where the different word comes? How do you describe it? When you describe, you go to Panini. If you don't read, simply say it is mine, it is ours. Everybody tries to declare that I am independent of Sanskrit. Anybody is independent of Sanskrit, the whole world is not independent now. If you talk of linguistics, without Panini, linguistics cannot justify the truth. Because there is logic. Panini has developed a system which is very logical. It is not today. Any time come, people have to use, they are using language. This is the property of the language, rule of the language. So we should not forget that. So we should know our own language. So it is always my request to all the parties. Read your grammar in your own language first. Try to verify how far they are correct, to what extent. Then only will you understand where we are. We should read our own language first, in our own language, not in English. If we read in English, they will tell you use Bahubri, but we don't go for seeing what is Bahubri. People, the English grammar we read. They will say, refer back to our grammar, but we don't read our grammar. So that is N+1, it is Bahubri. Next, please. What is next? Something we have to close by 9. Yes, please. Next. Yes, that is called, no, what is Dvanda? As you saw yesterday, why Dvanda is taken? Because there are two categories which make one. That is Dvanda. And how Dvanda is defined as Charthe. Cho Arthe. Cho means and in Sanskrit. Rama cha, Lakshmana cha, Rama Lakshmanau. Pita cha, Mata cha, Pitaro. So cha joins together. It is just like and. So cha Arthe. It is not the cha word, cha Arthe. When there is a combining two things, two different things, two different entities, you combine them, but with samartha, not that any two again coming. But here they represent two themselves. So Rama Lakshmana, both remain separate. When their meaning is understood, there are two persons, but used as one. Why? Because they have the same power, they have the same respect. So we say, we don't use only one. Just like Pitaro, we respect parents means both are same. Sometimes we ask who is better, father or mother. So people just ask out of curiosity. But child are very clever children. They will say no, both are correct. So it is not like that because they represent one entity. They are one force, one Shakti. So and whereas in Dvanda it is two Shaktis met together, they represent again one category. Just like we have Adarthau, Vadarthau, Iva Sampruptau, Vak and Artha are also one. Yes, what used by Kalidasa. Vak and Artha are one. Whether Sabda and Artha are one for grammarian, for Sanskrit, for Panini, for Bhartrihari, for Patanjali. They sport, that's why spota. It has two names only, two sides of the same coin. You cannot talk of Sabda without Artha. You cannot talk of Artha without Sabda. Now, so was the pratyalo, okay? That we will be seeing sometimes later. You will be trying to I'm just showing the division. Charte dwandaha. So dwanda means which is used with cha arthe. So Rama cha, Lakshmana cha, Rama Lakshmana, charte dwandaha. So these is sutras, how he has made. Yeah, next please. This is what this, now how he has done that, how he has defined. I told you the words samasa and abhubri, etc. have been used earlier before Panini, but they have not put in the grammatical component as a grammatical category. They were not used with specific rules or specific context. So what he has done, now the domain samasa, as I told you, in many places we have good sections. In Panini, Ashtadhyayi is called Ashtadhyayi. It is different Adhikara Sutras. Within the Adhikara, there are different subjects to be dealt with. He put them into different domain. Domain, suppose say, Samasa section, you will say from this to this. Just like you will see this. Starting from 213 till 2238. So 213 Sutra is Prak Kadarat Samasaha. This is a Prak, before. Kadarat Prak. Kadarat Karmadhara is 2 to 38, the last sutra of the second chapter, second pada. So second chapter, second pada, last sutra is 2 to 38, and samasa deals with the two pada, the 2-1 and 2-2. So 2-1 and 2-2, these two padas of the second chapter deals with samasa. So 2-1 starts with the samartha padavidhi, and 2 talks about the accent, and 3 talks about the domain of samasa. That is from 2 and 3 till 2 to 38, prak kadara, kadara karmadhara. The word kadara is used in 2 to 38. Before the sutra, that is kadarat, it is called samasa. The whole section is called samasa. Why? Now all the words to be produced or derived with these sutras will be known as samasa. He is not defining samasa as directly saying that this is samasa. Samasa all are obtained, are known, these words which will be produced with the sutras from 213 to 2 to 38. They are called samasa. They will be known as samasa. This is the domain, how he has categorized or specialized by putting the limit from this sutra to this sutra. You get the samasas, all the words. So this is the domain of samasa. Next, please. So that is next is. Now in samasa there are two things again. As I told you, the main criteria of samasa identify is vibhakti lopa. But there are certain samasas still there is no vibhakti lopa. So the vibhakti, when this lopa, luk, sulu, lopa, there are 3 words used by Panini. So luk means lopa. But here aluk means no lopa. So there are samasas where the vibhakti is no lopa. And these are common words we know. If we see, look at this, alpas mukta, see, the second one you see very common, everybody knows. Gabisthira, Yudhishthira. When you use the Yudhishthira means what? Yudhi means in the war field. Sthira means very firm, who is firm in war field. Yudhi. Here in E is Saptam Vibhakti Ekavachana. So here the Vibhakti remains, but still you get Sandhi. So Sthira becomes Sthira, you get Yudhishthira. Similarly, Gabisthira. Gabisthira means when cow remains silent. Gavi. When Saptami Ekavachana. When the cow remains silent. When it's starting in certain time, that is at the time of cowing, what is the milking. So cow stands still in that sense. Gavisthiraha, it's refers sometimes Yudhishthira name of a person who actually was very firm in the thing, stick to the principle, never following anybody's advice, kept to things. So this is called aluk samasa. There are certain which are given a separate section, 631, you will find them. There are different places used where the vibhakti lopa is not. Alpas mukta, he is saved by a little, by chance. So there also you get pancham vibhakti remains, alpas mukta. Okay, so next I will just show you the divisions. Next is Nitya Samasa. It is something very special. In linguistics, they call it lexicalization. Lexicalization means the word meaning gets lexicalized where it's special meaning, different from the samasa, different from the sentence. As I was telling you earlier, what is this? Now the Vigraha Vakya analytical sentence, and it gives you samasa compound form. This compound form and Vigraha Vakya always remain same. They become meaning is same. But In some cases, the compound form does not agree with the sentence. It gives you a different meaning, specialized meaning. That's why they call lexicalization. We call it Nitya Samasa. Nitya means the meaning is fixed in that. When you say Krishna Sarpa means only cobra, if one word. If you split it, Krishna Sarpa, it means any snake which is black. So English example they give is blackbird. Blackbird is actually cuckoo. But if you say blackbird, it can be crow or any other bird. So they split also. So the Sanskrit has used maximum ways possible the meaning differences between word and sentences. How the word's lexicalization takes place. That's why you call nitya. Nitya means it doesn't agree with the sentence. So it cannot change the meaning. So all other places meaning remains same. Sorry. In this case, so meaning the compound meaning differs from the sentence meaning. That is why that is called. Even we have one word khatwa rudha. That is means a very lazy person who, generally people sleep earlier in Gurukulas. They used to sleep on the ground. And only when they are well off and got married, then only they sleep on the cot. But those fellows who are not studying anything, they get married and become household. They sleep on the cot. That's why it's a kotwa rudo jalma. Jalma means a very stupid fellow. Well, for the teacher, one who does not read is stupid. We say jalma. They don't say stupid is an English word. But we say jalma means who is not respecting the order of the teacher and does not follow the rules of the Shastra or the tradition, he behaves in a, that's why he's called Khatwa Aruda. Even one is also there, Tirtha Kaka. I think one more example is that Tirtha Kaka means just like a crow in the religious place, he does not sit in one place. He goes from place to place just by touching it and go. Why? So others should not take it. He want a greedy fellow. A greedy person doesn't eat properly. He will take something here, something there, something there. Like that, they will taste the thing. They will move around. So they are called tirtha kaka. Tirtha means in a holy place. They never sit. Though those who do not sit, who do not take full bath, they will just little put water and go away. So that is those who do not follow the order of the rules or order of the shastra or the tradition. They are called the tirtha kaka. Generally, the greedy people who do not want to study properly, they just go away by reading something here, something there. So there are also so many things references. Yeah, next please. So it is just I think that is for today's it is over. So what I have shown that how the compound is defined, how the compound is classified, how the differences are made between compound nitya and anitya, how we have difference between aluk and luk samasas, and how the division of the tatpurushas. These are all we have tried to cover just to show, because it is just how it happens again, process takes place. So many rules are there, but I am only showing the headline, the definitions and limitation and domains of how samasa has been systematically designed and explained with specific rules in a particular order. That is all for today's samasa. Tomorrow we will talk of other samasas. I will explain you how we get madhyapada lopa, other samasa. Yes, please. Any question? Just one or two, please, so we can.
May I ask a slightly unrelated question?
Yes,
In
yes.
in chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita,
Ah.
Krishna says that he among the samasas he is dvandva.
He
So
is
what could be
Dvanda
the
because
reason
he
for that?
represents both, no? See, there are two parties, no? Kuru, Pandava and Kauravas. So he represents both always. So that's why I say I am the Dvanda. Dvanda because Dvanda is with me only, not with you. Because I create Dvanda. I say one, two. I made power of Kaurava Pandava to show his power. See, when you divide, you want to show your power, no? So you are the responsibility for Dvanda. Dvanda is used to say, now used in our languages means Kalaha, means fighting. Who create the fighting? Only God. Yes, I think Gopa. Yes, Gopandu Mahanti.
Sir, I want to know that this Yatha Sakti,
Yeah,
Yatha you said is a category of Abhaya.
Abhyaya. Yes.
Uh, can Abhaya be split? Yatha, Yati, Yadi. Uh, the Abhaya can be splitted also in Sanskrit.
Further classification is there. That also we'll do sometime. Abhyas are also, Cho is also Abhaya. Ba is also Abhaya. Cho, Ba, Tu is also. But these are sub Abhyas. Abhyas, there are certain Abhyas which are subhutas. They are taken in under samasas. So because Dwanda you have Cha, no? Cha is not Abhaya. Cha is also Abhaya. But that doesn't form a samasa like a Su or Ti. They don't take Su. They are other Vyartha. We'll talk that also. I will explain that.
And can we use Pitambara for any person who is wearing
Generally, these
clothes?
are all Rudi. Bahubri always represent a Rudi sense. Rudi means which is very much confirmed now by the people. They know Pitambara means Hari. You give the name to them only in the name of Hari. You don't give in the name of any other person. When you give the name, you say only in the name of Hari, you say Pitambara, no? So these are all called Rudhi Artha. They are very, very much fixed in that meanings. That's why there are certain meanings which are they are fixed. You cannot change that. It is not changed.
But if
Uh,
we use the word pitambaram, meaning
It
yellow
means there is
cloth,
yellow cloth. It can be yellow.
that would be a
Pitambaram ana. Yeah. Pitambaram, yes.
karmadhare samaj, isn't it?
Yeah, it will become a yellow cloth. Okay. Like Niloth Palam, blue lotus. So it is adjective
Right.
noun combination. Adjective noun combination. Karmdhara Samasa. Yes. Okay. So for today, let us see you tomorrow morning and hope. Please just have a thought. Yeah, please. We'll see any other question. Tomorrow we'll start early little bit today because of some technical problem. We'll meet tomorrow, okay, with all other questions and we'll go to Madhya Padalopa tomorrow. What samasas takes place, how is the long series. We'll see that tomorrow. Okay, so thank you all. Just have a
Thank,
just
thank
think.
you very
Think.
much.
Thank
Thank you.
you.